Right now at noon, as more states restrict transgender rights, the White House presents a new proposal to protect the rights of trans athletes.
We've got ourselves a warmer day as you head to lunch, and it's going to continue to warm up. We'll talk about those current conditions and how Easter's looking coming up.
New employment report shows hiring is slowing down and layoffs are increasing. What that means for the overall economy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A proposed rule from the Biden administration would prevent schools and colleges from putting a blanket ban on transgender athletes. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, the Biden administration is proposing new rules, stopping schools and colleges across the country from enacting outright bans on transgender athletes. Now, this week, Kansas became the 20th state to ban trans athletes from women's and girls' sports after lawmakers overturned the Democratic governor's veto. Now, this latest federal measure prohibits schools and colleges from banning athletes from competing. However, it does allow for exceptions if the participation undermines fairness on the field or could lead to injuries. The proposal could be finalized by next month. In the meantime, it has to go through a public comment period before it takes effect. More than 50% of Kansas rural hospitals are at risk of closing.
Most small-town diners, whether you're the cook, the waitress, or just coming in for your morning coffee, if there's something going on in the community,
see, I could talk for hours.
chances are you'll hear about it.
And that's how I found out. He come home and was telling me.
Norman Klein's son needs regular IV treatments at the local hospital in Norton, Kansas.
He has to have that every month or his immune system just bottoms out. Where is he going to get it if he can't get it here?
Norton County Hospital, like many across the nation, is facing financial struggles. There are 105 rural hospitals in the state of Kansas. Data from the Center for Healthcare Quality and Payment Reform shows 56 of those are at risk of closing.
I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to try to do something to help us so we can keep them.
From the same data, Norton County Hospital has been in the red over the last year and is one of 631 hospitals across the nation at risk of closing.
It's very scary.
These are the people who would pay if they lose their hospital.
Rural communities depend on faces like these, but if hospital systems continue to struggle, these faces could soon be gone.
Katie Wagner had to resign from her communications position with the hospital due to budget cuts.
There are some financial struggles currently in that they're making some hard decisions on expenses.
She's still the foundation director and has been a part of board meetings where they talk about the financial situation.
We're looking at the finances because, we had rough times with not having providers a few years ago. I hope that the future will lend itself to making progress here, but I think some changes will have to be made.
A big issue. The next closest hospitals to Norton are at least 30 minutes away, and many of them only provide certain care.
Do you think within the next couple of years we could see more hospitals closing?
It's possible. The reality is that some rural hospitals could close just due to not being able to operate.
The regulars love their community, but it needs the hospital to survive.
And if we don't have the hospital, that's going to really drag our town down.
No matter who you are in this small town, you're facing a future made of difficult decisions.
To be this age and not have it, it's just a scary thing to have a hospital.
If you'd like to see the financial situation at the hospital where you live, you can go to ruralhospitals.chqpr.org. Well, after a few very chilly nights, it's back to spring for now. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, things have gotten a little bit better for us. The temperatures continue to warm. Let's take you on our camera tour real quick. 7th and Range Line in Joplin, our camera there. If you see us clouds up there, but if you look off to the south and east, There's more clouds out there right now. Same view, 20th and range line, the MoDOT camera there, because it is looking northwest as well, so you can see the clear skies. And from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh, you can tell by the shadows on the ground, plentiful sunshine out there. Yesterday, we managed to start the day at 36, which is where we expected to be. We made it up to 57. That's not bad, considering the winds have been calm. Under sunny skies, 57 is not a bad temperature, but you can also see where we're about 10 degrees off the pace for what normal should be. All right, temperatures across the region look like this. We got a lot of 57s. Nevada, Stockton, Lamar, Carthage, Joplin, Pittsburgh, 59 in Miami, Chautauqua, Parsons, and 61 already in Chanute. Here's what we're keeping an eye on as we go through the next few days. We've got the clearing skies today, continuing to warm up, which is a good thing. We still have that slight chance of showers as we head into Easter Sunday and into Monday, and we'll take a look at that. And the temperatures will continue to warm as we head into next week. So a lot of warming taking place, and we'll keep an eye on that Easter weekend forecast for you. But I can tell you right now, don't cancel your plans for Easter. Not yet. I think we're going to be just fine. We'll take another look at that full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Labor Department says the economy added 236,000 jobs in March, which is down from the average monthly gain of 334,000 jobs over the prior 6 months. Now, industries like restaurants and healthcare continue to hire, but at a slower pace. At the same time, other businesses are laying off workers, including Meta and Amazon. This latest report will likely encourage the Federal Reserve, which has been strategizing to slow the economy and ease inflation. Well, a supermajority of Tennessee Republicans vote to expel Democratic Representatives Justin Pearson and Justin Jones. They were part of a gun control protest on the House floor just days after the school shooting in Nashville. Republicans failed to expel a third Democrat, Gloria Johnson, by just one vote. The seats will be filled by interim representatives until a special election. City pilgrims follow the path they believe Jesus walked before being crucified. In the Philippines, reenactors nailed a man to a cross, and men dressed as Roman soldiers whipped an actor portraying Jesus. In Australia, the Pope, fresh out of the hospital after battling bronchitis, marked Holy Week by visiting a jail to wash prisoners' feet. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, no cell phones at the Masters. How spectators are surviving the greens without their handheld lifeline. And later, we're making Italian Easter pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've had ourselves a pretty decent day so far today. A lot more sunshine out there than what we've been seeing, and the temperatures slowly rising as well. So it's nice to see spring return, albeit maybe briefly before we bounce right back into summer-like temperatures. Right now, 7th and range line, boy, things are looking absolutely gorgeous. Now, if we turn that camera back to the south and east, there's a few more clouds, hence those ones hanging out at the top of your screen there. They are the leading edge of a little thicker cloud cover back to the south and east. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, clear skies overhead, and from the KDOT camera, at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. You can see plentiful sunshine out there on this gorgeous day. How gorgeous is it? Well, we're 57 degrees gorgeous, and granted that was our high yesterday, we're not even there yet, so we're doing all right. East breeze is at 13 miles an hour, and in Pittsburgh, that's sitting just a little bit cooler at 56, east breeze at 8. Otherwise, again, we're looking pretty good. And across southeast Kansas, cloud cover really hasn't been a significant issue today. It's really been confined right along the I-44 corridor and points south. It will eventually get all the way out of here. All right, 58, Iola, Fort Scott, 57s. We mentioned quite a few of them. Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, 56 in Neosho. At 59, Chautauqua and Parsons in the warm spots. Chanute and Sedan at 61. As we go through the rest of our day, we're still looking at highs pushing right around the mid-60s. We're on our way there. And depending on roughly where you are, we're basically right along the south of I-44, getting some back-end cloud cover from a system to our southeast. And so parts of southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma, you're going to get in on some partly to mostly cloudy skies, kind of like yesterday, some variable cloudiness out there. And for those areas, that will persist into the overnight. Now, if you're in southeast Kansas, got pretty clear skies as we go into the overnight, and we will cool down. Once the sun sets, it doesn't take much for it to start to drop, and so we get at least one more cold night and a couple more chilly nights ahead of us. We drop back to 38 tonight. Heading into tomorrow, we'll have even more sunshine, which allows the temperatures to do this number. Check out 5 o'clock, 67 degrees tomorrow, as we continue this nice warm-up. Now for our Easter Sunday, here's what we're looking at so far. We're going to start the day at 44, so a little bit chilly out there, but not bad. Up to 69 for the high, mostly cloudy skies, 55 by the evening. And between 2 and 7 p.m. on Easter, we're looking at the possibility of a shower or two. This is not going to be widespread. This is going to be extraordinarily isolated. So like we said earlier, don't cancel your Easter plans or anything like that. Just be prepared in case a pop-up shower makes it your way. But really, the majority of us are going to remain dry. All right, tomorrow we mentioned making it up to 67 degrees. And we're going to make it to 69 on Easter, 50 for the low. See, our overnight lows continue to improve into the 50s. Got a better chance of a few more scattered showers on Monday and making it up to 70. Lower 70s through Wednesday. Another breezy day on Wednesday. Thursday looks pretty good, 76. Now how about beyond that? Temperatures continue to climb. We make it to near 80 as we head into next weekend. However, still springtime, and that's kind of warm. And with that being said, we're watching the possibility of some evening storms Friday, and maybe a handful of pop-up storms as we head into next weekend. So otherwise, not a bad forecast at all here across the area. Just had this brief cool down from the Wednesday storms and doing a lot better now.
All right, well, yeah, we're in for a holiday weekend, a religious holiday weekend, I guess. A lot of people will be hitting the roads this weekend, and it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good whether you're hitting the road or staying local. It's not too bad out there.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making Italian Easter pie after the break. Well, if you're looking for an impressive dish to serve for Easter brunch or even the big meal, look no further. Howard shows us how to make his Italian Easter pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Last year around Easter, I was introduced to something called Italian Easter pie that was to die for. You know, the best way that I can describe it is a really thick quiche studded with chopped Italian meats and wrapped in a pie dough. It's an Italian tradition that's served at Easter, and it's one that you might want to add to your holiday lineup. We start off by lining the bottom and sides of a deep 9-inch cake or springform pan with a refrigerated or homemade pie crust. We set that aside for a sec while we add some Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, and pepper to some beaten eggs. After that's all combined, we mix in some ricotta and mozzarella cheese. And for the part that adds so much personality, we stir in some chopped ham, Genoa salami, and sliced pepperoni. Then we pour this into our pan before topping it with a second pie crust and fluting the edges. We'll brush it with an egg wash and into the oven it goes. When you serve this on Easter, whether for brunch or with the big meal, get ready for all sorts of oohs and ahs. It not only looks impressive, but it's creamy and savory too. If you want the recipe for our Easter Italian pie, just visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a holiday special way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. I thought that was supposed to be mine.
That looks tasty. And you can find this recipe with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, still looking at highs in the mid-60s today, near 70 tomorrow and on Easter Sunday. Again, maybe an isolated shower or two, but nothing to really panic about. A few more showers Monday, 70, and then we get into the lower 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. More sunshine Thursday as we cruise into the mid-70s. And don't forget, by the end of the week, we're looking at temperatures toward the 80s.
I'd like to look at that forecast.
Yeah, can't complain about that, that's for sure. What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, a Pennsylvania woman is grateful after doctors solve her medical mystery. In Health Watch, we're going to look at the treatment for a potentially life-threatening condition. Plus, the Missouri Department of Health shares tips on Easter egg safety and find out how a PSU professional is helping new universities in Africa with reading materials. Hope you'll join us for those stories and, of course, the latest on your holiday weekend forecast, all coming up today right here, KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dal. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.